Thank you all for coming tonight. I'd like to call the meeting to order and determine a quorum, which we have. Thank you all for coming. Annual organizational meeting and election of planning board officers. The planning board members shall choose by vote one of their members to be chairperson, vice chairperson, and one to be secretary in accordance with the Fairfield Planning Board bylaws, section 2.3. I'd take a motion.
Make a motion to elect Kevin as chair.
I'll second that.
What about vice president, vice chairperson, secretary?
So do we do them all at once or do we do them
You
individually?
can do them individually if you'd like.
Okay, I have a motion. I have a second. All those in favor? Thank you. Separately, how about vice chairperson?
I'll nominate Matt.
Matt,
I'll second that.
second. All those in favor? Thank you. And secretary. Take a motion for that. Don't, girls, sorry. Don't fight now, no.
Yeah, I'll accept it.
I'll nominate Carrie.
I second that.
The nomination second. All those in favor? Thank you. Very
Thank you,
good.
Carrie.
Congratulations. You may regret that, but anyway. Meeting of the December 1st, 2025 Planning Board meeting minutes to be approved. Everybody had a chance to look at those.
I'll make a motion to approve them as presented.
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Second, thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. Public hearing, none. Unfinished business, Daniel Kissinger and Representative Greg Carey, PLS, request to decrease the size of Lot 1 from final plans, Sturtevant Heights addition, subdivision 2011 and revised in 2019. Lot 1 request to decrease Lot 1 from 1.82 acres down to 1 acre on tax map 2, Lot S6, 1S in the residential land use district. Legal discussion. Go ahead. You want to present your...
Well, before we did get note from the MMA attorney that we could do this.
That's correct, because it met the ordinance.
Yes.
And that allows us to get to that minimum lot size within the ordinance.
Yep. I just thought that'd be good to note that we can do it. Doesn't mean we will, but we can.
Okay. What about... what else is of discussion with this land and right-of-way and all that stuff?
I think the concern that at least I had last time was modifying the subdivision without having the turnaround that was originally intended to be included in the subdivision re-included as
Okay.
part of our
Okay.
approval of this lot
Which is
split.
required. Okay?
That was my really only concern with
The
this.
turnaround for
Yeah.
safety vehicles.
I mean, I know that we had an abutter come in last time and speak with us about concerns with vegetation being planted within the, I don't know if it's an easement or right-of-way, but
Right-of-way.
within the roadway right-of-way, but that's really not a planning board concern per se. That's
Okay.
a civil concern, in my opinion.
All right. Mr. Kissinger?
Yes, sir.
What is the intent other than reducing this lot size?
So if you'd bear with me, I have about a 5-minute response that I'd like to present. I think it will clear up all of the concerns for this board, and I will fix this issue so that it's not an issue anymore. Give me 5 minutes. I'd like to clear up some issues resulting from last month's meeting. First, I was not present in the meeting last month due to the fact that I run a small business in our town that sells Christmas trees. Surprisingly, December is a busy month for me. So I was unable to attend, specifically because our hours are open until 7 o'clock every day. My lack of presence had nothing to do with the false claims that there was a protection order against me. Which brings me to this. Before I proceed with this subject, I need to address the lies that were expressed about me last month in the planning board meeting. In chronological order of how these lies were delivered to the board, first, I have never restricted the abutters' grandchildren from riding their bikes on Sunny Drive. I have, however, provided fair warning to the abutters to protect their grandchildren from crossing their westerly property boundary into the wooded area, which is my land, so that their grandchildren wouldn't get hurt. This demand came after this abutter cut hundreds of trees on my land and flagged mature maples for harvesting syrup in the spring of 2025. Let me reiterate that this area is my land where they cut trees, and not part of the right-of-way area. I expressed my disappointment with their decision, and at the direction of our police department, I erected no trespassing signs to more clearly designate the property boundaries. After I did this, the abutter destroyed my property again by removing those signs without discussing it with me. Lie number 2, I have never had a protection order against me, and I find it utterly reprehensible for anyone to defame my character to this level. Further, I have been in conversation with our police department and understand that I am not the only person whom is being attacked by this abutter. There is a common denominator to the problems that live in this community, and it is broadly known who that problem is. Lie number 3, I've never stopped delivery trucks from getting to the abutter's property, not USPS, not UPS, not FedEx, not a private courier. I have, however, demanded that they stop having a tractor-trailer truck do deliveries because they cannot fit into the abutter's driveway on their property, and they end up blocking all traffic on Sunny Drive for not only myself and my family, but also that of my customers who have complained to me about waiting for the truck to move. Further, regarding the idea that I need to install a turnaround 200 feet past the abutter's driveway for turnarounds is completely illogical, as the tractor-trailer truck would still be blocking the entire way upon delivery. This is not a preference issue. This is a safety issue, as I have customers who have tried to go around the truck during deliveries and have destroyed the grassy area on the shoulder. A maintenance issue that I then have to fix because the abutter does not attempt to fix anything that they destroy. Lie number 4, I have never been horrid or a pill to the abutters. I've never treated my neighbors with anything less than respect. I have, however, made reasonable requests and demands to provide protection and safety to not only myself, my family, my customers, but also that of my neighbors, their visitors, and their animals. Reasonable restrictions that they agreed to in 2019. Which brings me to this. Next, I'd like to advise the board that in 2019, when you, Kevin Violet, was still the chair, I worked closely with this board to fix a years-old problem for this town that was left behind by the late Bill Sturdivant. I was told by this board to go to the abutting neighbors and seek group agreement on a path forward. I did exactly that and came to a reasonable agreement with each landowner, including this one that was allowed to stand here last month and spread unsubstantiated lies about me and my character. Again, I did everything that this planning board required me to do in 2019, but I went further. And at my own expense, I broadened the gravel way because the existing way in 2019 that this board approved was not at that time wide enough to support two-way traffic. So in 2024, at my own expense and without requesting a single penny from my neighbors, I improved the gravel way to allow two-way traffic to the amount of $20,000, of which I have never received a thank you or kind word from this expense, that I incurred to make both of our lives better. Also, I'd like to advise this board that based on the direction of the town code enforcement officer, its planning board, which I stand before today, as well as an attorney, I and this abutter entered into a signed agreement spelling out the details of their right-of-way. This agreement is a legal contract between her late husband, my wife, and myself. The abutter freely agreed and did not contest to anything in 2019. The agreement was documented and filed as an easement on the abutter's property with the Somerset County Registry of Deeds and will follow this property long after I'm gone. As was stated in the last meeting, this is a civil matter. A civil matter of property land dispute of which I am more than happy to defend myself, my actions, and my property to a judge. I have been in many deep conversations with multiple attorneys regarding this matter, and am confident in the outcome should this abutter choose to progress this dispute further into the judicial system. Before I close, I'd like to make one more thing part of the public record. This abutter, Sue Stinson, nor her late husband, Laird Stinson, have never once come to me personally to raise any concerns. If they had, I would and still am willing to have a conversation regarding their desires. I am a reasonable person and I want to live at peace with my neighbors. But instead of coming to me with a simple neighborly conversation, they have chosen to involve yourselves and lawyers into what should have started as a minor request between neighbors. With that being said, I find it important to absolve this board and ultimately our town from another legal battle over the use of this piece of land. Therefore, in an effort to remove yourselves and our town from further unnecessary legal disruptions, I am rescinding my request to make any modifications to the property that I own at 1 Sunny Drive. You can now move on to your next order of business and allow this civil issue to proceed in its proper venue, a courtroom.
I'm not aware of what started this little scrap you guys got going. And again, we're not involved with that. We have put up with Bill Sturdivant and Bill Sturdivant's right-of-ways, and Bill Sturdivant was selling lots on roads that hadn't existed yet. So this is how this first came to our board. We're only here to enforce the ordinance. We don't make the rules, we just enforce those rules. So this scrap you have and this document you signed before you even bought the property, which will consist of a 15-foot gravel road, that doesn't meet our ordinance. A 15-foot gravel road, which you have got them to agree to and sign, and whatever statements they've made to us, don't know if they're true, don't care if they're true. We don't have a dog in that fight. That is between you and your neighbors over there. You're here before us today to look at making a lot smaller, which is within the ordinance, and that's very easy for us to do, okay? The one issue that the board will have, and we have had with these drawings back in 2019, there's no turnaround. If you sell that lot that you're making 1 acre, are you planning on putting a turnaround on your right-of-way and your road?
I apologize in the beginning. I never said who I am. I'm Dan Kissinger, the person that was called in here. 2 things. First, I've rescinded my request. The topic is ended. I'm no longer requesting to change this lot size. So we need to move on as a town, and I need to move on with my neighbor, and hopefully she comes to me and we can resolve our issues. But I will go further, and I will make a personal statement regarding your turnaround expectancy. This board approved in 2019 the plan that was before you. Exactly the way it was drawn, right, wrong, or indifferent, that is exactly what I did. Please. Not only did I do everything this board asked me to do, I then proceeded to put an additional 800 plus feet of gravel for my own private drive at the end of what is shown as Sunny Drive on this plan. And if anyone would have taken 5 minutes out of their day, they could very well come up and see that there is ample room now for any emergency vehicle to access not only my neighbor's house, but mine as well, as I'm at the back of this driveway. So I've already provided, without being required by this board, a space big enough for a fire truck or a tractor trailer to turn around at my house in the event that my house burns. And I'll go further to say, I've watched emergency vehicles pull into the neighbor's house. No one's ever had a problem. If you drive up, any reasonable person can see that her lot is not impeded. Again, I did everything this board asked me to do. I've now rescinded my request. I believe it is this board's responsibility to move on, and I would ask for reasonable people to support that and move forward with what was decided in 2019.
Well,
Yeah, Kevin, I mean.
Go ahead.
I think the board approved this in 2019, clearly without a turnaround. If this was coming back in front of us, which it no longer is for the lot modification, then I would say that we would need to bring this into compliance with our current requirements around a turnaround on a private roadway. The idea of a turnaround on a private roadway is to make sure that it's an area that doesn't have to have emergency vehicles get onto private property for turnarounds. The board approved the plan without one. I think that's what we have to stick with moving forward. I think that kind of ends it, in my opinion.
I agree.
It was originally included in, I don't remember what year it was.
19.
2011.
Yeah, 2011.
So-
with the
Correct.
turnaround, I wish it would have been included in 2019, but it wasn't. And our fire chief and police chief haven't hounded, at least to my knowledge, about inability to maneuver in that area of town. That doesn't mean that it won't be a problem in the future.
What about when that lot sells?
It was a lot that was included in the subdivision in 2019 and approved by the planning board. It's my feeling on it.
How does our ordinance allow no turnaround on a private road?
Well, it wouldn't have, but it snuck by the planning board in 2019, got signed and got filed at the registry of deeds. So at this time, it stands as a non-T turnaround private road. There are others. I mean, Hutchins Road is a private road. You have to go all the way to the farm at the end to turn around. And none of the driveways on Hutchins Road allow for large emergency vehicles.
You adjust that mic, please.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. So, we have a history of sometimes these things get by us, and this time in 2019 it did. I think in a rush, perhaps, to settle the Sturtevant land issues from years past, the board looked at it quickly, had an interested party in purchasing the entire property beyond the land that was sold to the abutter, and the T turnaround got overlooked.
I just think it's hard for us to enforce anything when
Agreed.
there's no change being requested to the subdivision.
Correct. He just rescinded his change.
Right.
What if you issue a building permit for one of these lots?
Well, the only remaining lot to be built on would be this lot that he's not changing the size of, and in 2019, it was approved with the road as shown on the 2019 plan, so I can issue a building permit. It would be legal.
What does, I don't understand. I'm seeing dotted lines here. What does that mean?
On the 2019 plan?
Yeah.
I'm not certain. You would have to ask Greg Carey, the surveyor, that,
And conveniently, he's not here.
It looks like previous lot line location as according to the legend.
And you got them to sign this document before you even bought the property?
At this time, because this will turn into a legal civil matter.
I asked you a
I don't think it is-
question.
I don't think it is pertinent.
I
for
asked
me
you
to
a
answer
question.
Any further
Did
questions?
you get them to sign this document before you even owned the land?
The document is signed. It will be discussed further in a legal process.
Sit down. That's it. You don't want to cooperate.
I don't
You
know
wanna
what your
answer
personal
simple
vendetta is
questions.
against
Kevin, I
me.
don't-
I've
I don't
done
think that
everything
we
this
need-
board has asked me to
Yeah,
do.
I don't think we need to get
Not
into any
arguing.
further
Thanks for
discussion on
coming.
this.
Any other discussion?
I think it's time to move
I
on.
think we need to move on.
Hearing none, I'll call for a vote.
What do we vote?
Motion.
I don't think we need a motion since the applicant has
He
rescinded
withdrew.
the
Yeah.
application.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Conditional use permit issued to the Fairfield Solar LLC, tax map 2, lots 38 and 24-1, due to interconnection delays with CMP, requesting a one-year extension of time on this permit, discussion and decision. CMP?
We have
mean,
Fairfield Solar
Fairfield Solar.
representatives.
So I'm Corey Barrow from Chimbro. Thanks for having us. Like you said, we're requesting a one-year extension due to our interconnection delay with the authorities.
Is 1 year sufficient?
What's that?
Is 1 year sufficient?
Is 1 year sufficient?
Yeah.
We think so.
Certainly hope so.
We think the last time we came here was...
These are plenty. So we're well aware of what you guys go through. Other companies are having the same struggling problem. CMP, it is an issue everywhere with solar programs.
Yes.
So I feel bad that you guys are strung out this far, this long, with money on the table, but that it is the nature of the beast at this time.
It is the nature of the beast. You
Yeah.
said it well. I also share, if I may.
Could you go to the microphone?
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry. Parker from Chimbro.
Yeah.
I just want to share, we don't have any ill will towards CMP on this. This was a legislative event. It caught CMP off guard with the amount of interconnects they'd have to do. So I just don't want anything to be construed that we're unhappy with CMP. We're not. It's,
Okay.
you recognize it. It's just.
Yeah. Is the PUC cooperative through this?
PUC is really not that involved. It's a combination of CMP and ISO New England.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
And I'd say everybody's doing their job. It's just been a gruesome process.
How many years have you been at it here on this project?
So we were originally approved in 2020, I'm sorry.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
Just one, last time you asked for 18 months, you don't want to ask 18 just to give you a buffer?
If you're offering, we'll take it. Thank you.
I think it's reasonable.
Thank you. Yep. Thanks
It
very
came in
much.
front of us as 12, though, so
Does it?
You can
Is it gonna
change
be-
it, it's just their request, and they're here to request if you're willing to change it, that is.
Yeah, the last waiver was
Right.
18 months.
I just wasn't
That's
sure
why
if we could change it,
That's why I said it.
change their request per se.
Yeah, he gave a written request to ask for a one-year extension. Corey is here if he wants to change his request to the board.
If it's easy for you, we don't need to add work to you.
I
take
think
a
it makes
motion.
No difference
Okay.
to me.
So are we going for 18 months?
That would be great.
Okay.
Is that your motion?
My motion is to extend construction for 18 months.
And is it start of construction, Nicole, or is it
Start of construction.
not completion of
Correct,
construction?
right, yeah,
Start
no,
of.
just start.
I have a motion for 18 months extension. Here a second?
I'll second
I have a second. All those in favor?
Awesome.
Very good.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. Hopefully that does it this time.
We'll see. When I get younger.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for hearing us.
Items by the public clerk.
I have no items at this time, other than we have asked KV Cog to assist us, and as soon as they understand what laws are going into play and at what time, then they'll start working with the planning board, and we can schedule our meetings,
Okay.
work with them. on, renewing the land use and subdivision ordinance also. Those were the two that needed rewrite at this time.
Right,
Okay,
for the legislature.
right. That's all I had.
Anything else from members? Hearing none, I'd take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second that.
Motion second.
Right.
All those in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.